Hello coders! Today's video is about strings in Python. So this video will be helpful for you. I hope you would like it. So let's go on to the topic. In today's lecture, we will be discussing the topics in strings in Python. The topics that will be covered today are: what's a string in Python, creation of a string, to check if string is present or not, modifying a string, concatenation of string, string format, escape character, and string method. So let's start with today's lecture. Introduction to string in Python. A string is a sequence of characters. A computer do not deal with characters, they deal with numbers in binary format. Even though you may see characters on your screen, internally it is stored and manipulated as a combination of zeros and ones. This conversion of string to a number is called as encoding, and the reverse process is called as decoding. ASCII, American Standard Code for Information Integration, and Unicode are some of the popular encodings used. In Python, a string is a sequence of Unicode characters. Unicode was introduced to include every character in all languages and bring uniformity in encoding. This is a basic introduction to string in Python. So let's start with creation of a string. There are two methods to create a string. One is directly printing the value of a string by using the print statement. Second is assigning a variable a value of string which needs to be printed. Strings are arrays. Like many other popular programming languages, strings in Python are arrays of bytes representing Unicode character. Generally, a string is combination of characters. However, Python do not have a character data type. A single character is considered and clubbed together as a string. Square brackets can be used for indentation purpose for printing a particular character which we need from a string. Let's consider example. A is hello world. If I want to print E, then in index I will be specifying it as 1. So A of 1, if I am printing A of 1, I will be getting the output as E. So the index starts from 0 from left to right, and from right to left it starts from -1 to the rightmost corner character. Looping through a string. Suppose if you want to loop a given string and to print the value of each and every character in a string, then we can use for loop. For example, for x in fat coder, if I'm printing the value of x, then each character by character will be printed separately in pattern, which is displayed in the right. To check whether a string is present or not, by using the keyword in, we can find if a character or a word is present in a given string. For example, text is equal to fat coder. Suppose I am printing if coder in text. I am checking if coder is found in text. So it will print yes if it is found. If it is not found, the output will be no. Slicing of a string. To understand this basic concept, first we need to have a clear understanding on the index value, how it starts. From left to right, if you are considering the index value, it starts from 0 and it ends till the rightmost character's number value. Positive numbers are found from left to right. It starts from right to left from -1 to the leftmost corner character's value. Let's consider a program for better understanding. Let's consider a variable str whose value is fat coder. Then if I want to print the first character, then the index value will be 0. So the output will be f. Suppose if I want to print the last character, then the index value will be -1. Output will be r. Suppose I want to print the second to the fifth character, then the program will be indexed from 1 to 5. So I will be getting the values ACT, that is the second to the fifth characters will be printed as output. Suppose I want to print the values from 6 to the second last character. So the index value will start from 5 to -2. So the output will be COD. This is a basic example for slicing of strings. Modify string. In this you will be able to understand the different ways how we can modify a given string. For example, upper method helps us to give an output in capital formats or in uppercase. Lower method helps us to print the output in lower cases. Replace method replaces a string with another string. Strip method removes any white space from the beginning or the end. Split method splits the string into substring if it finds an instance or a separator. Let's see a program for better understanding. Let's consider a variable a equal to fat coder. Suppose if you wanted to print the output in uppercase, then we can use a dot upper. We want to print in lowercase a dot lower. Suppose if we want to remove any white spaces found at the beginning or at the end, we can use a dot strip. Suppose if we want to replace capital A with small a, then we can use replace. So the output will be fat coder in which capital A is replaced as small a. Suppose if we want to split the string into substring, then we can use split method. This is a basic example on program which demonstrates the clear use of strip, replace and split method. String concatenation. Joining of strings are known as string concatenation. For example, let's consider a variable a as fact and variable b as coder. So c equal to a plus b. So the output of c is fact coder. Suppose if I want to print a variable 3 times, then I can use a star 3, which output is fact fact fact. So printing a variable 3 times. So we can use a star 3. Suppose if you want to print a variable 2 times, the same variable then a star 2. So the output will come as 2 times of this value which is given. String format. You can combine strings and numbers using the format method and by using curly brackets. We cannot add a number in between a string and we cannot print it. It will throw error. So by using format method curly brackets, we can easily print numbers in between strings. For example, let's consider age equal to 1. It's been these many years I have used this curly brackets, which is very important since fat coder was started. I want to print, so text dot format ages. Ages specify the number value which is indicated as 1. So the output is it's been 1 year since fat coder was started. Instead of curly brackets, we will be getting the numerical value, that is it's been 1. So 1 is inserted in left and most side of years. The advantage of using the format method is that you can easily combine numerical value in between strings. Suppose formatting decimal numbers. Let's consider the value of x is 12.345678. Suppose if I want to print only two numbers after decimal, then 3.2f. F indicates it is a float, so we use f. So the output is 12.35. But you will be having a doubt how 12.35 came. We only have 4 as the second number. We actually check the right number to 2, that is 5. If the value is greater than or equal to 5, we will be rounding off the next number. So since the rightmost number of 4 is 5, so we will be rounding it. So we will get as 35. That is the reason we got the output as 12.35. Suppose let's consider 3.4f. We will be considering 4 numbers, that is 3, 4, 5, 6, and we will be considering the fifth number, that is 7. Since it is greater than 5, we will be rounding the value of 6 to 7. So we will be getting the output as 12.3457. This is a proper example of formatting decimal numbers. Escape characters. An escape character is a backslash which is followed by the character that we need to introduce or that we need to insert. For example, let's consider a program. Hi, this is I have started with a backslash, and at the end of backslash in between I have given the value as fat coder. So while printing the output, I will be getting as hi, this is fat coder. The biggest advantage is that in string we can print quotation. If we don't use backslash or the escape character, it will throw us an error. So few of the string methods found are capitalize converts the first character to capital, case fold converts the string into lowercase, center returns the centered string, count returns the number of times a specified value occurs on a string, encode returns an encoded version of the string. These are the few of the basic methods which are found with the users. So this is the end of the topic which is being discussed in today's lecture. So let's look upon the topics which are covered. In starting, I gave you a proper introduction about a string in Python. Then we saw the methods to create a string. Then strings are array and looping through a string. To check whether a string is present and slicing of string, we discussed about the index strings which are found. Modifying a string, string concatenation, string format, formatting a decimal number, escape character, few string methods with their uses and with their method name. So these were the topics discussed today in string. We will meet you guys in next lecture. Until that, stay happy, stay safe. Thank you. Knowledge is wealth. Jai Hind.